Have you ever hit play on a song and just instantly felt like you could take on the world? Well, today we're going to learn how to do that on purpose. We're going to break down exactly how to build a playlist that can manage your mood, sharpen your focus, and seriously supercharge your energy. So let's dive in. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're having a day, and then one song comes on, and suddenly everything shifts. Your whole mood just does a 180. It's this universal thing we all feel, but here's the secret. It's not magic. It's actually science. And once you understand that science, you can harness its power whenever you need it most. So here's the game plan for building your ultimate mind-changing playlist. First, we'll get into the raw power of sound itself. Then, we're going to take a little peek inside your brain to see how music works its magic. After that, we'll break down the anatomy of a perfect vibe. And finally, the best part, we'll walk through exactly how to craft your own playlist and train your brain to use it. Okay, so let's start by totally reframing how you think about music. It is so easy to just dismiss it as background noise, something to have on in the car. But it's actually one of the most powerful and accessible tools you have for actively managing your own mental state. This is all about being intentional. Instead of just randomly hitting shuffle, you're curating a very specific experience. I mean, think about it. You can literally design a soundtrack to calm your nerves before a huge meeting or a set list that's going to push you through that last mile on your run. It's about consciously choosing the state of mind you want to be in. So, what is it about music that gives it this almost magical power over us? Well, the answer isn't in your headphones. It's deep inside your own DNA. This connection we have is primal, and it started way, way before any of us ever heard our first song. And here's the wild part. This connection runs so deep that it's literally our first sensory experience. Our brains are hardwired for rhythm from the absolute beginning of our existence. Just think about that for a second. Our very first concert is the steady, comforting beat of a heartbeat. In the womb, we're just immersed in rhythm, that constant thump-thump, the low whoosh of sound vibrating all around us. That is our brain's first introduction to a beat, and it hardwires us to respond to rhythm for the rest of our lives. Now, this all comes down to a really fascinating process with a cool name, entrainment. This is the core mechanism. See, your brain is a fundamentally rhythmic organ, and it has this incredible ability to lock on to an external beat, like from a song, and synchronize its own electrical pulses, your brainwaves, to match it. Think of your brain as having different gears or frequencies for every state you're in. Beta is your get-it-done focus mode. Alpha is your chill-out mode, nice and relaxed. Theta is that dreamy, drowsy state right before you fall asleep. And delta is, well, deep sleep. By choosing music with a specific beat, you're basically giving your brain a rhythm to follow, helping it shift from one gear to another. And it's not just rhythm, it's also chemistry. When you listen to a song you absolutely love, your brain's reward center just lights up and releases a flood of dopamine. That's the famous feel-good chemical. So you're basically giving yourself a shot of motivation and pleasure just by hitting play. Okay, so we've got the science down, but what about the art of it? Let's break down the actual ingredients of a song, the anatomy of a vibe, that make it so incredibly effective at changing how we feel. First up, and this one is maybe the most obvious, is tempo. The speed of a song, which we measure in beats per minute, or BPM, directly affects your energy. Fast tracks, usually anything over 120 BPM, they get your heart rate going, make you feel energized, and slower tracks, below 100 BPM, do the exact opposite. They help you relax and unwind. Next ingredient, lyrics. And do not underestimate the power of words. Positive, empowering messages basically act like a subconscious pep talk, reinforcing a mindset of confidence. When you hear a line like this one, you don't just hear it, you start to feel it. And the final, and I'd say most powerful ingredient, is you. It's your personal, emotional connection. Music is a time machine, right? A song can instantly zap you back to an amazing vacation, a big win, or just a moment of pure joy. This is exactly why the best playlists are so deeply personal. They're the soundtrack to your own best memories. All right, enough theory. Let's put all of this into practice. It's time to move from just understanding the science to actually building your very own mindset toolkit. Building your perfect playlist is actually a really simple 4-step process. First, you gotta set your goal. What do you need right now? Focus, energy, a little bit of calm? Second, gather your songs based on those ingredients we talked about: tempo, lyrics, and what they mean to you. Third, build an arc. Don't just throw songs together. A great playlist tells a story. It has a warm-up, a peak, and a cool-down. And finally, test and refine it. Your playlist is a living thing, so tweak it as you go. So, to get you started, you can think of these as simple recipes. For morning motivation, you might want something gently energizing, like Here Comes the Sun. For a big workout, you need that high-energy, strong beat, like Stronger. And to wind down, something really soothing and peaceful, like What a Wonderful World, is just perfect. What songs pop into your head for each of these? Now, creating the playlist is just the first step. The real magic, the part that truly changes things, happens when you turn listening into a consistent practice. You're essentially training your brain for a better mindset. And this is where it all comes together. It is all about consistency. When you use the same playlist for the same task over and over again, you're building a powerful mental shortcut. Your brain creates this neurological association. And eventually, just hitting play on your focus playlist will be enough to automatically trigger that state of mind. You're literally conditioning your brain for success. So there you have it. The power to shift your mood, to sharpen your focus, to boost your energy. It's right there at your fingertips. You've got the science, and now you've got the strategy. So the only real question left is, what state of mind are you going to create today?